All right, folks, buckle up, because today's story hits harder than a double-shot espresso on an empty stomach. The FBI director sat in front of Congress, got asked one little question about Donald Trump appearing in Epstein's files, and suddenly the man froze like your Wi-Fi during a live stream. No glitch, no malfunction. Just raw, unfiltered, awkward silence. And if you thought this saga was wild already, trust me, the sequel is even crazier. Let's break this whole thing down, fact by fact, because every layer of this story gets spicier than the one before.
Thank you, Director Patel, for being here today. The FBI searched Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan residence, correct?
I believe that happened in 2018. I think there was 2 locations, sir.
It's 2019, and in that residence, the FBI found a safe, correct?
I don't have the catalog of evidence in front of me.
In that residence, the FBI found a safe, correct?
I'll accept your representation.
Okay. And in that safe, the FBI found topless and lewd photographs of girls, correct?
Again, sir, I'll accept your representation. I don't know.
Thank you. It was all over the media at the time. There's a New York Times article that says Jeffrey Epstein is indicted on sex charges as discovery of nude photos is disclosed, dated July 8th, 2019. And the Times reports a trove of lewd photographs of girls was discovered in a safe inside financier Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan mansion. Author Michael Wolff has conducted numerous interviews of Jeffrey Epstein. I'm going to play for you a video clip of what Michael Wolff said Epstein told him was in the safe and what he showed the author was in this safe. So let's please play that clip now.
Elected. And I was sitting talking to Epstein, and he said, "Wait a minute, I got to show you something." And then he went into his safe, and he came out with photographs. They were Polaroids, I think, and he kind of spread them out like playing cards, and it was Trump. I mean, I think there were a dozen of them, and it was Trump with girls of an uncertain age at Epstein's Palm Beach house, where all of the things that he would ultimately be accused of took place. And I remember very vividly 3 of them. There are 2 in which Trump is, the girls, topless girls, are sitting on Trump's lap. And then a 3rd in which he has a stain on the front of his pants, and the girls are kind of pointing at it, sort of bent over, laughing.
So, Director Patel, I'm going to ask you a very broad and general question. As you know, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were friends. There are, of course, photos showing Donald Trump together with Epstein, correct?
I don't have the entirety of the photographs, but I think they've been photographed in public together.
All right. Are there any photos showing Donald Trump with girls of an uncertain age?
No.
How do you know that?
Because that information would have been brought to light by multiple administrations and FBI investigators over the course of the last 20 years.
Well, you know what? That's just not true, because no one knew about the creepy birthday message that Donald Trump wrote to Jeffrey Epstein until the Wall Street Journal disclosed it, and then all of a sudden, the Epstein estate provides it to Congress.
Well,
so certainly, you weren't there at the search. You don't know what Epstein may or may not have done with those photographs even prior to the search. Maybe someone has it. Maybe the Epstein estate has it.
You raise a great point.
So I'm going to ask you, have you asked to talk to Michael Wolff?
You raise a great point. I haven't personally asked to talk to Michael Wolff.
Has the FBI asked?
But the FBI, I'll get back to you if the FBI specifically
so Michael Wolff has
ever.
About 100 hours of testimony of Jeffrey Epstein. Wouldn't it be good for the FBI to interview Michael Wolff?
I'm not saying they haven't. I just don't know.
Has FBI subpoenaed the tapes that Michael Wolff has conducted of Jeffrey Epstein?
I don't know.
All right. So if you could provide us an answer, that would be terrific.
Sure.
Well, let me ask you this question then. Have you looked at all the photos in Epstein files?
I have looked at all the information that the investigators who investigated this case have provided to run out credible leads.
And in the Epstein files, was there that creepy birthday message that Donald Trump had written to Epstein?
No, that's what I was trying to tell you. You raise a great point. The estate of Jeffrey Epstein has a voluminous amount of information that they have not released before.
Okay, so that's great. So Wouldn't it be great if FBI subpoenaed the estate of Jeffrey Epstein for all that information?
The estate is under no obligation to provide that material, even pursuant to a subpoena. That's a great point.
Yeah, that's just false.
Okay.
That's just false. You're the frickin' FBI. You can subpoena the information from the estate, and you better do that.
That's literally not how it works.
I'm going to move on now and talk about Epstein's client list. You confirmed that exists. Attorney General Pam Bondi confirmed earlier this year that exists. So I just want to ask you a simple question. Is Prince Andrew on Epstein's client list?
The material related to Prince Andrew has been made public.
Is Prince Andrew on the client list?
We have released the index of names that were in Jeffrey Epstein's.
Is Donald Trump on Epstein's client list?
The index has been released, and the index will speak for
So I'm
itself.
just going to say, America is a huge red flag. The FBI director could not answer
Gentlemen.
whether Donald Trump was on Epstein's
Gentleman's time
client
has
list.
expired.
I
Chair
yield
now
back.
recognizes the gentleman from Virginia.
The entire showdown kicked off inside a congressional hearing room already packed with tension, microphones, and lawmakers waiting to pounce like they were auditioning for a political action movie. FBI Director Patel walked in promising transparency, but the moment the Epstein files came up, the room's temperature dropped about 10 degrees. Ted Lieu immediately pressed Patel about what investigators found during the raid on Epstein's Manhattan residence, including reports of a safe loaded with questionable material involving underage girls. Patel responded with vague remarks, half answers, and the classic "I don't have that in front of me," which only made lawmakers and viewers raise their eyebrows even higher. But trust me, this was only the warm-up act. The real showstopper came next, and it had the whole room holding its breath. Then came the moment that lit up social media like the 4th of July. Ted Lieu leaned in and asked Patel a direct question that cut through the noise. Are there any photos of Donald Trump with girls of uncertain age in Epstein's files? Instead of answering like a seasoned official, Patel froze. Not figuratively, literally paused, stone still, like someone hit life's pause button. When he finally spoke, he claimed that if such photos existed, they would have surfaced years ago. But Lieu fired back, pointing out previously unknown documents like Trump's bizarre birthday message to Epstein. The brief silence exposed a crack that words alone couldn't cover. If you felt that chill, trust me, the next part will make the hairs on your neck stand up. Skepticism exploded after Patel's freeze. Critics from all corners of the political spectrum argued that the FBI's selective transparency raised more questions than answers. Lieu pointed out that the Epstein estate held tons of unreleased material, and Patel admitted the FBI never subpoenaed it, a revelation that shocked even veteran congressional watchers. Add in journalist Michael Wolff's account of Epstein showing him Polaroids allegedly featuring Trump with topless girls, and suddenly the so-called nothing to see here narrative looked thinner than airport coffee. The messy mix of denials, missing interviews, and unexplored evidence fueled the suspicion that powerful names complicate investigations. And if you thought the public reaction was intense, wait till you hear how this freeze frame hit the heart of national trust. The freeze didn't disappear. It spread across the internet like wildfire, inflaming public distrust in institutions already hanging by a thread. Millions questioned whether agencies tasked with upholding justice handle wealthy, politically connected individuals with velvet gloves instead of accountability. Every clipped answer from Patel added fuel to the perception that something wasn't lining up. Many felt this wasn't just about Epstein or Trump or a safe full of questionable photos. It was about whether America's top investigative agency flinches when high-profile names appear on sensitive documents. The tension between transparency and power became too obvious to ignore. But the final piece of this puzzle might be the biggest twist, and it's still unfolding. With the Epstein Files Transparency Act passed and bipartisan calls for full disclosure growing louder, the FBI now finds itself cornered by public expectation. If all remaining documents get released, long-guarded secrets could emerge, revealing who truly had connections to Epstein and who didn't. Patel's hesitation only amplified demands for subpoenas, interviews, in a real investigation that covers every angle instead of sidestepping the uncomfortable ones. This moment didn't just spark debate. It reignited a national conversation about truth, influence, and whether silence can ever be considered an answer when the stakes involve potential abuse, power, and decades-old secrets waiting to surface. If you want every update, every twist, and every truth that slips out when powerful people start sweating under the rights, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and join the conversation. Because at Global Pulse News, we don't blink when the truth freezes. We zoom in.